All right, we were waiting to hear in Atlanta from Judge Scott McAfee concerning the fate of prosecutor Fani Willis. We did hear from him today, but not regarding her, more regarding the fact that he's dropping 6 of the counts against Donald Trump in that Georgia election case. 41 of the counts remain. Andy McCarthy on the significance of this. Andy.
Neil, I don't think it's all that significant. I wish the judge was throwing those counts out for the right reason, which is that Fani Willis is trying to criminalize petitioning the government, which we all have a constitutional right to do. What the judge has basically said is that the indictment doesn't describe these 6 charges with enough sufficiency that you can show how the oath that it's claimed that the Trump people were asking these state officials to violate. They need to specify more how that oath connects to their constitutional responsibilities.
So by doing this, some people leapt at that and said, well, he might be keeping Fani Willis. He might not be throwing her off. Some of us kind of conjoined the two. Is that wise?
No, I don't think so. The 9-page decision by Judge McAfee today did not even allude to the Fani Willis situation. And that ruling would be the same ruling regardless of who was running the case.
So if you're dropping, 6 counts, you're keeping 41 others, then whether Fani Willis is there or not, anyone who is thinking in the back of their minds, maybe he's getting rid of all the prosecutors, maybe he's dropping this entire case, that is not that is not this, right?
No, there's 2 tracks going on, Neil. On the one hand, there's the disqualification litigation, and then there's all the pretrial motions that have been filed by all the different defendants attacking this and that element of the case. So we're seeing kind of both going on at the same time.
So again, the original 41 that we were looking at, and the 35, I guess we're down to now. I get my math backwards here.
Right.
These 6 that went away, were they the more serious, or how would you describe them?
I'd say that they are, the most serious is obviously the RICO, because this is a RICO case, and that's the biggest penalty. These are significant felony counts, not overly significant, and I expect them to reappear. What the judge said in his decision was that they can go back and supersede the indictment, refile it with a more elaborate explanation along the lines of what the judge said was deficient in his ruling.
So how does this affect the timeline of things and the timeline of this case? Does this action today do anything more to add to the notion it's going to be delayed?
Yeah, if anything that happens that would induce a prosecutor to have to go back to the grand jury and supersede the indictment is obviously going to entail delay. It's hard to gauge in this case how much delay because we don't even have a trial date here. So
let's step back from this and all the cases. There are quite a few we're following. Obviously, the documents case and all of that, many of which could see themselves being pushed off here. Others that might get squeezed in before the election. If you were a betting man, would any of them get decided before the election or even adjudicated?
Yeah, the Alvin Bragg case in Manhattan is scheduled to go on March 25th. I think that's actually going to happen. That's a 6-week trial. And Jack Smith has indicated that he's pushing to try even the Washington case, the Capitol, the January 6th case, even if it was September, by the time the Supreme Court stuff all got sorted out on immunity and obstruction, he'd go forward with that.
I can't keep up with this. I'm glad you can. Andy McCarthy, always good seeing you, my friend.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.